Okay, so there was recently a new loan product that rolled out that we were made aware of called a 3-2-1 buy down. A lot of you are probably aware of the 2-1 buy down. It basically means your rate is 3% lower in the first year, 2% lower in the second year, and 1% lower than today's rates in the third year. And then from years 4 through 30, it is at the regular note rate, whatever that might be. In this case, we're going to use an example of a loan amount of 700,000. So let's say you found a house at 777,000, put 10% down. That would be a loan amount of 700,000. Today's rate, we'll pretend is 7%. It's probably close to that. For a 3-2-1 buy down, you would be at 4% in the first year, 5% in the second year, 6% in the third year. Now, this is interesting because ideally in one of these first few years, rates come off of today's peaks, and ideally you would refinance into a longer term rate at 4 or 5% and never have to experience the 7% note rate of today. If you were able to do this, instead of having a monthly payment of monthly principal and interest payment of $4,657 at 700,000, you would have a monthly payment of $3,342. So in that first year, your savings are $1,315 a month, or $15,783 for the year. The savings, the monthly savings in year 2, your rate goes up to 5%. It's $899 a month, and the monthly savings in year 3 is $460 a month. So if you add up all the savings over this 3-year period, it's $32,098. Now, this would be the cost to do this program. So basically you would have to negotiate something with the seller, ask the seller for a $32,000 credit. And basically what they're doing is they're prepaying the interest spread. So if the rate is 7 and the lender is giving you a rate to 4%, your savings is this number. Well, the lender's not giving you the money for free. Like, somebody has to pay for it. So the seller can give you a credit for $32,098, and it basically prepays this savings. So the lender isn't out, but you do get to experience a monthly savings. And ideally, if rates come down to, the 4s, 5s, or 6s, then you could refinance. If you refinance, whatever savings in this program you actually don't experience, this money does not go away. So for example, let's say in year 1, you're at 4% and you save $1,300 a month, $15,000-ish for the year. And then at the end of that first year, rates are down and you decide to refinance into a more permanent, solution. What happens to this $10,792 and this $5,523, which has been prepaid? This actually goes as a credit towards your principal, meaning they'll take this, roughly $16,000 and lower your loan amount by that much when you refinance. So this is a really cool tool because it allows the buyers to get into a home today at rates that are, might be more affordable for them. It allows the seller to give, a credit of $32,000 rather than, a price reduction. To save $1,300 or $900 or $500 a month in a price reduction is much more expensive than the seller. So rather than reducing the price by $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, you can give a credit for $32,000 and have a much bigger impact on the buyer's monthly payment. So this tends to be a better route for the seller and can be a better route for the buyer as well. Now, there's pros and cons to every program, right? So if you said, Brent, I won't be able to afford the house if I find myself in a rate of 7%, and the variability doesn't make me comfortable, well, then that's understandable. This tool is useful for someone who can afford the house and wants the house and is willing to pay the 7% rate, but it's like, hey, I will try to negotiate this credit with the seller and I'll start at 4, 5, 6% in years 1 through 3. And if rates never come down, then okay, I can afford the 7% rate and I'm moving forward. But if I get lucky and rates do come down, then I can experience the savings early on and refinance and never have to experience the note rate of 7%. So again, every single program has its pros and cons. This one's no different. Again, some of the pros are, you have high impact monthly savings in the near term, while hoping, while waiting for rates to hopefully come down, and then you can refinance. And if you refinance, whatever savings you didn't experience goes back into your principal, and you might be able to buy a house today at 7% rate, negotiate a better sales price with the seller, maybe negotiate better terms. There's different homes. There's a lot of benefits for getting in a home and getting in, like buying a home today, rather than if you wait for rates to come down and the competition goes back up, you might be paying higher prices. You might not be able to have as many options as far as inventory. So someone who is willing to snatch up a home today and could potentially stomach and afford a rate at 7% in the future if they had to, then this works as a nice hedge to try to avoid that. Now, someone who wouldn't be able to make the payment comfortably at 7%, this probably at all ever, then this probably isn't the tool for them. If variability of these things, scare you, if you're like, well, Brent, I can't afford it at 7, what if the rates never come down and in year 2 or 3, I'm stuck with a payment I can't afford? I totally understand that. Again, pros and cons. You have to look at these things with your own unique situation, but this is a new product, a new tool that came out to try to offer the buyer some short-term relief while we see where the market goes. And it also allows the sellers to negotiate with buyers in a fashion that maybe is not as detrimental to the seller's bottom line, because giving a credit impacts the buyer's monthly payment in a much more substantial way than a price reduction. So to do a price reduction, to get the buyers to save, $1,300, $900, $500, whatever these numbers are, in the form of a price reduction, it would cost the seller much more money. So, some pros and cons. It's a new tool that's out there, a new product that's out there. And we just want to keep you guys up to date and share with you, the new things that these lenders are rolling out, and some creative ways to try to get some deals going. So that's the 3-2-1 buy down. Connect with us if you want to take a look for your own unique situation, what it might mean for you at your price points. But that's a good example of it there. So talk to you soon.